Having life purpose is like that masculine anchor. It's like that spine, and it keeps you grounded in life. It keeps you grounded in reality that doing this work, doing this thing that you're passionate about is in and of itself the gift, right? You have to see creation as a spiritual aspect of life, as a divine, sacred honoring of life, like you're a mini God. Once that life purpose reveals itself, you really have to honor it, because this is a gift. This is a divine gift that you have been shown what you're passionate about, what your gift is, what your unique blueprint or talent or perspective in the world is. Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to Lion's Heart. And in this video, I'm going to be speaking about the very important topic of life purpose. And if you recall, in the Lion's Heart blueprint, life purpose is in the temple part of the blueprint. So this is after foundation. Again, it's very key and very vital that you have your foundation down, your habits, your discipline, your environment, your sleep, all of these things down before you move into the higher levels of reality, because you really can't move into those higher levels efficiently until, most of those foundational things are taken care of for the most part. So we're moving into the temple, and we're going to be speaking specifically about life purpose. And, I think life purpose is just so necessary and even more important of a topic today in a world of distraction, comfort, chaos, stimulation, dopamine hits. And when you have a life purpose in something that you're working on, a craft, something you're creating, it's like the ultimate act of revolution against this time where everybody is trying to steal your attention and your energy and your focus and your life force. So our question to you is, do you have a life purpose? Do you have something that you are working towards, that you're trying to master, some kind of craft? And this doesn't have to be your career, but something that you're putting work into every day, something that you're learning more about, that you're researching and going deeper into. Do you have something like that? And if not, are you at least working towards trying to figure that out, right? Or is there just a void of, meaninglessness or something like that? And that's the next point that I would like to talk to about, is this crisis of meaninglessness today, where we don't have the roles that we used to have as a society. And I think especially men are feeling very useless today. They're feeling very, they're not productive. They're not doing anything for other people. They're not making good use of themselves, right? And the traditional roles of hunter, warrior, these things are no longer necessary. And even breadwinner in the household are not necessary, which is great in a certain sense. We've mastered survival, but we still have this deep psychological need to give to the tribe, to, feed the tribe, to bring something of value to the tribe, right? And so you still have that in you. You still very much have that in you. So if you, like a lot of men today, are dealing with this feeling of emptiness, meaninglessness, having life purpose will directly be the medicine towards that. It will directly help to fix that issue and to have something that you feel passionate about, something that you're working towards that's higher than you, that's, for something greater than yourself and just your pleasures and desires and fears and, the pleasure-pain dynamic. You're sacrificing for something that's good for all of humanity, which is a deep medicine, and it's something that we all actually need. And one thing that's great about life purpose as well, another benefit, is that it keeps you anchored, right? Life is crazy and we can't control life. There's so much things that are out of our control that we don't have no say in: politics, news, weather, weather disasters, things like this. We have no say in it. Relationships, people die, people get sick, we get sick, finances, all these things. They're constantly changing. Life is chaos. Life is the movement of Shakti in a spiritual sense. Life is that feminine flow. And having life purpose is like that masculine anchor. It's like that spine. And it keeps you grounded in life. It keeps you grounded in reality. As the waves of life are moving, you can visualize it like a boat. And you have this like anchor that's keeping you into something. It's like your oasis. It's your craft that you keep coming back to. It's your thing that you keep doing. and going deeper and deeper in. And it's like, no matter if you're sick, no matter what's going on with your finances or heartbreak, you have this like oasis craft or thing that you just keep coming back to, whether it's your music or writing or teaching or yoga or meditation or going on walks, whatever it is, it's something that you feel at home with, right? When you're doing it, you lose track of time. You feel, your soul lights up, you feel your passion, and it's also helping others, right? So that's the value of the life purpose, is that it's something that's keeping you grounded amidst the chaos of life, right? Another benefit of life purpose is that it really helps with things like addictions. A lot of you guys probably have your vices, as do I, and you try to beat them, right? You try to beat the video games. You try to beat the online content, adult content online, the alcohol, whatever it is. You have your things that you kind of have as bad habits. And very few times does like the willpower or the AA or, reading books about these things really work, right? It's like it helps for a little bit, but then in enough time, you're back to those bad habits, right? And what a life purpose does, especially when it's geared towards helping other people, I mean, you could make walking your life purpose, where you teach other people how to walk properly and how to, motivate them to go for an hour walk a day. And then, so what's good about the life purpose is it keeps you accountable, right? It makes you less than just a talking head. You can't just bullshit people. You have to embody what you're talking about, or else you'll feel like a fraud. And so you have to actually not only be living your life purpose, you have to be, keeping your habits and strong. You keep your things together and clean, right? You can't be hungover when you're trying to master juggling, or you're giving a performance, or you're giving a speech, or you're giving a talk, or you're writing. You can't be hungover. You have to be clear-headed and clear-focused, right? So having a life purpose helps so much with habits and addictions, because you find something that's worth living for, which is better than that short-term pleasure of that addiction, right? It beats the addiction, and it doesn't take a lot of willpower, because naturally you're just like, why would I go out and drink when I have to shoot a video tomorrow, or I have to read that book, or I have to be focused for my juggling? It doesn't make sense. You want to be performing at your best out of love, right? It's not out of fear of the bad habits or out of fear that you're doing something wrong. You're now functioning from love and passion, right? Which is much stronger than willpower. And also having the life purpose, it deepens your wisdom, right? As you go deeper and deeper into this craft and this thing, your mind is neuroplastic, and it becomes better at adapting and learning about this thing and getting better at it and learning more and reading about it, right? And this can be with any life purpose. And, you're becoming more and more wise. You're learning more about these topics. And if it's helping people, then it's obviously helping you too. If you become a master of how to master your habits, then you become a master of your habits. Or if you become a master of juggling, you will learn discipline. You will learn, about different ways that things work in life, right? Your mind will be firing those neural connections. Okay, so when you have a life purpose, it keeps you on track and it keeps you accountable, and it just keeps you in a good place and away from things that might be destructive or harmful or hurting you. And in this way, the life purpose is the medicine. The life purpose is the gift in and of itself. We have to see our life purpose as a gift from God, a gift from life, and almost see it in like a spiritual sense, that doing this work, doing this thing that you're passionate about, is in and of itself the gift, right? Whether it's going on that walk or just writing, drawing some scribbles. Maybe your passion is art and you just draw some scribbles, and then you rip that page out and you throw it away and no one ever sees it, and you never get famous and you're not popular. It doesn't matter. The point is doing the work, right? The gift is doing the work. The work is the gift in itself. To create is the gift in itself. You have to see creation as a spiritual aspect of life, as a divine, sacred honoring of life, like you're a mini God, right? And you're using your talents as a human being, your hands, your voice, your mind, your body, and you're creating something that hasn't been created before with it. It's like you're birthing something into the world, your purpose, your passion. It's like your baby. So we have to see life purpose as, almost a divine act, almost a divine sacred act of creativity. Like really contemplate, what is creativity? What does it mean to create, to bring something into the world that wasn't there before? And that's such a powerful thing. So we have to honor that as something divine, right? And you might be asking now, like, okay, you've sold me on this, like life purpose is important. What do I do to find my life purpose? And here I want to break this down into two camps, right? We have two camps of people, really. There's like the prodigies, and the prodigies are like the Tiger Woods and the Mozarts, who at the age of 5 and 10 and 11, they're creating music. It's in their bones, right? They're born to do this. They know from, Tiger Woods was on national television at age 3 swinging a golf club. Mozart was composing music at age 5, right? So there are these people who are just born with these life purposes. Basically, it's in their bones, right? They're just meant to do this, and they obviously become masters at it. And we might feel bad looking at these people because it's like, well, I don't have that. I don't know what I wanted to do when I was 5. But we have to realize that this group of people is, less than 1% of the population. This is not normal. This is kind of almost like these people are kind of freaks in a certain way. So we don't have to really compare ourselves to that, but let's just say that's one camp of people. And then there's the other camp of people, which is like the normies, right? Which is probably more like me and you. And the normies, there's two camps in the normie camp. So we got the normie camp. We're going to split that into two now. And there's the badasses and the victims, right? And the victims will complain. They'll say, well, I don't have the money. I don't have the time. I have this relationship. I have these traumas. Life is unfair, blah, blah, blah. I'm addicted. And they'll kind of just crawl into a hole and go into their addictions and, watch stuff online or play video games or whatever. And they'll kind of just fall into this, black hole of victimhood and life is unfair and blah, blah, blah. And we all know these people. We definitely see them online. They're just kind of, and they're kind of like hard to help, right? They're just kind of lost. They're almost like zombies. They're just infected by this disease of victimhood and they're just lost. And then we have the badasses, which is probably you because you're watching this channel and hopefully working on your habits and things like that. And the badasses are, maybe they don't know their life purpose, or maybe they have an idea and they're like working towards it, or they're at least trying different things out, right? And the badasses are more going through a trial by fire process, right? They're testing different things out. They're going to workshops, they're going to classes, they're doing these things, and they're figuring it out. What is my life purpose? What am I passionate about? What do I love? And what happens with the badasses is eventually there's a point where something clicks, right? They realize, wow, this really lights me up. I really get lost in this activity. I really feel good doing this. There's something in their soul that speaks, right? And that kind of becomes their passion and their life purpose. And if they're wise, what they'll do is they will stick with that thing and they won't let excuses get in the way, and they'll pursue it and they'll master it and they'll put time into that craft and they'll honor it. They'll see it as a gift, as a divine gift that they have found their life purpose, and they will honor it and go deeper into it and eventually master that thing. And it will become a very satisfying, fulfilling process. And so we can ask, how does this relate to you? Well, which camp are you in? Are you just consuming things online and, twiddling your thumbs and, thinking about these things? Or are you actually taking action? Are you actually moving towards your life purpose? Are you actually trying things out, right? And just the act of working towards your life purpose in and of itself is fulfilling and gratifying and satisfying, right? And so you can even say, my life purpose is that I'm figuring out my life purpose, right? And that in itself will feel better than just being a victim and feeling sorry for yourself, or consuming content, like just consuming random self-help content. Like, take action and do something and try things out and go into the world and fail until that life purpose reveals itself, right? And then once that life purpose reveals itself, you really have to honor it, because this is a gift. This is a divine gift that you have been shown what you're passionate about, what your gift is, what your unique blueprint or talent or perspective in the world is that can help others, that can contribute to something higher, right? And so you just become relentless with it. You put everything that's not that thing on the chopping block and you cut it off, right? And especially if it's something that's getting in the way of you doing that, right? some toxic relationship, some addiction, right? Some job that's like just completely the opposite of your life purpose in terms of values and ethics. And you just cut them all out, right? You don't need that much money. You don't need, right? You just are willing to sacrifice things. And it's not that you go be like a masochist and like, purposely sell everything and go be an aesthetic. It's just, if it gets in the way of your life purpose and your passion, then you cut it out, because this is a gift from God that so many people wish they had. They don't even know that it exists. We've been programmed not to believe that we have life purposes and gifts and talents. And so really, you must honor that, and you must treat it like you're mining for gold, right? You have to move through all the dirt and all the coal and the resistance, and trust that in that passion, in that thing that fires you up, is pure gold, right? And lastly, I just want to say that there's so many excuses that can come in the way, right? Oh, I don't have enough time, my job this, my job, The biggest thing for people, I think, is that they have to work jobs, right? But you can, if you're disciplined enough, and you can watch my video on discipline equals freedom, but if you're disciplined enough, you can still make time to pursue your life purpose, right? Let's say you're working 9 to 5. So you wake up 7 to 8, you meditate, get to work 9 to 5. And then after, you go to the gym, or you socialize, or you hang out with friends or whatever, watch TV, whatever you need to do to just kind of relax. And then from 7 to 9, 7 to 10, it's not ideal, but you can work on that life purpose. You can read, or you can, do those martial arts, or do whatever you need to do. And if you just have the discipline, you can actually keep up with those things, right? So it's not impossible. And I think people really need to get out of this victim mindset, because even most jobs, like, they're not taking up the whole day, right? They're really not. So you still have a lot of free time to do things. You just have to be disciplined, and stop whining. So that's kind of how to implement the life purpose, right? And then the last thing I want to say is that, you really have to trust and have faith that you do have something that you can provide to the world. You do have a unique blueprint, almost in like a spiritual faith sense, that there is something that you can uniquely bring into the world, right? And you just keep trying and trying and trying and digging those holes until one hits, you hit a little gold, you realize this is what I love to do, and then you just dig into that hole, right? You don't keep going around digging other holes, you just go deep into that hole, and that is where the passion grows. That is where the mastery grows. That is where the growth is in itself. And from there, maybe later in life, you can actually turn that into a career, or maybe once you have more financial freedom, you can just fully pursue that thing for the joy of itself, right? And I just want to also remind you guys that this is the temple, right? This is the second layer. So you have to have most of life down, right? You have to have your disciplines and your finances and these things down before you can realistically pursue life purpose, right? It comes after foundation. You can't be hungover and reading about what you're passionate about. You'll just feel like shit. You can't be watching a bunch of news and online content and then trying to write about how to feel good for other people when you feel terrible yourself, because you're addicted to these things, right? So you have to have the foundation down, and then life purpose will kind of naturally begin to form in itself. But you do have to take the initiative to, explore and try these things. So that's all I've got today. Much love, guys. And I hope this helps. And I just can't stress enough how important life purpose is, to have something in life that you are fired up about, that you're working on, that you're doing research on, that you're studying. That's how we're meant to live. We're meant to be passionate about something. We're meant to have a fire in the belly about something in life. And I think that life purpose it's not a luxury, it's actually a necessity. So best of luck, and I hope this helps. Talk soon. Much love. Cheers. Last thing, guys, thanks so much for watching the video. If you're interested in doing one-on-one coaching to, figure out your life purpose, get your habits down, and implement the things that we talk about on the channel, please shoot me an email at lionsheartwisdom@gmail.com. I'm looking to work one-on-one with people who are ready to take the next step, who are willing to invest in themselves, and who are really just kind of looking for coaching and guidance and accountability in that process. So I'm here to help out, and shoot me an email if you're interested. All right. Talk soon. Cheers.